See April wine tonight at Monty's Show Bar in Dartmouth.
Congratulations, enjoyed the show. Back on the street, Bob and Mac is down there.
Hello.
Hi, Bob.
How you doing?
How we doing on page?
We're doing good. You guys ready for round 2?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah,
All right, where's my clipboard? Hold on, I gotta get my clipboard, baby! Everybody gather around! 2900 Agricola Street at the Halifax Municipal Stadium here. Round number 2. We have Robert Patno. Where's Robert at? Right, oh, Robert's way the hell over here. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
How's it going?
Oh, buddy, gosh, you're going all right. Darren, all right, Darren here?
Yeah, man.
All right, buddy. Well, he hit me with the thing. Over here we have Steve Burns. Where's Steve? There's Steve. Where's Steve? How you doing?
Good, buddy.
Good, buddy. And Craig Powell, how you doing, Craig?
Pretty good.
All right, buddy. You saw how it works. 2 out of 3. If the first one off, you lose. Are you ready?
You're down, you're out.
Thank you, Lisa. I just said that.
This is a jousting match. They're on these pedestals, and it's
Glow parties down there. This is this big giant square. It's a big giant pillow. There's 4 pedestals in it. Our competitors are on there. 2 out of 3. The winner of the whole thing. Excuse me, I'm running out of breath.
Yeah, it's
He
okay.
gets a table for 6 ringside at the ECC 6 hometown here in Swarton.
Nova Scotia says it's up to the school now to make the next move.
So, what did you have in mind? What did you have in mind?
We've got about 2 minutes.
Okay.
And I was just going to talk to Kristopher about his journey and what's going to take place today and how things have been going.
Okay.
Yeah, why he's doing it. What's that, Brian?
Side.
It is on.
Side.
I know. What's
You
the
gotta
Tell me, what is it? I didn't hear.
You gotta say that you're on this trip because you're helping over 100 students to relay the torch.
Hello?
And that's why you're here. But the lights, you gotta shine the light on the girls from Pictou, especially.
We're going to meet
Green Farm.
17-year-old Kristopher Knowles.
Do you guys have
the
the,
track
like,
across? Okay, Brian.
Two o'clock, the press conference is at the Ledge. Encourage everybody to come there.
Yeah, that's right, Jason. I am joined by Kristopher Knowles this morning, and he's been traveling around the country. Kristopher's been at this for a while. He's been waiting for an organ donation for 17 years, and Kristopher is 17 years old. And Kristopher, tell me a little bit about your journey and the torch. And I know yesterday you were in Pictou County. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But you started this journey at 13, right?
Yes, yeah, I did. I walked across Canada when I was 13, and now I am mentoring the students right across Canada. Over 100 students right across Canada will be carrying this torch of life to represent organ and tissue donation.
And there are approximately 4,000 Canadians waiting for organs?
Yeah, there are about 4,000 Canadians right now. At least 3 people are dying every other day, and we just want to get that saved. And when we were in Pictou County, we met a girl who would like to be a live donor, and she found out from her family that one of her mother's friends was waiting for a kidney transplant, and she jumped right onto it, saying she wanted to be a live kidney donor.
But unfortunately, the law stipulates you have to be at least 18 currently to donor, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, you have to be 18 at least to be a live donor, and we'd like to kind of change it to 16, because 16 you can sign a license to become an organ donor, so why not become a live donor at that age too?
Right. Now I know that, there's quite a process that you have to go through, but if they've got the backing of the family and the person wants to do it, then why not? Right?
Yeah, that's right. And for Courtney, her family's behind it 100%. She's behind it 100%, and hopefully we can get this changed so that she can do a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I know that today the torch is going to be passed to another school, more students, and you're also going to be going to the legislature as well, right?
Yeah, today is day 19 of our campaign, and we are going to be at the legislature building around 2 o'clock.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kristopher, for coming in, and thanks for taking up such a great cause and for being part of the journey.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for coming in. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll see you back here in just a couple of minutes' time. Great job, man. Good. Excellent.
Afternoon to raise awareness on the need for good public policy and action around organ and tissue donation. And my reason for participating today in this effort is quite personal. I'm very pleased to be joined by a number of people, but I'm particularly pleased to be joined by my nephew, Nathan McDonald, who is here to my right. Nathan is currently waiting for a kidney transplant and has been for a bit more than 2 years. Is that a bit more than 2 years? And in our family, we consider him our miracle baby. He received a transplant when he was 9 months old, the first time, and a second transplant when he was 5 years old. His mom, my sister-in-law, Ruth McDonald, is also here today, sitting in the audience, and she was the donor the second time Nathan had a transplant. And so our family are keenly aware of the importance of organ and tissue transplants, of donations, and of public awareness, and the promotion of this issue in the public. And I'm very delighted that George Marcello and his step-by-step campaign has come to Nova Scotia today to raise awareness as part of the national campaign that George has had going on now for many years. This is not his first visit to our province. This is his third visit to our province to attempt to raise awareness. I was very pleased to walk with George about 5 or 6 years ago, the first time he came from the Halifax Shopping Centre here to Province House with a number of first responders from the fire department and the police department. He returned a few years ago with Kristopher as part of this campaign. Kristopher's wish at that time was to also raise awareness. Kristopher has been a recipient, transplant, an organ recipient. Yes, we're still waiting. And we're also joined, in addition to George and Kristopher, we have 3 young ladies from the Trenton Middle School, along with their teacher, and they will introduce themselves, and they have made a commitment to bring attention to this issue and ask for more action in terms of public policy. So I'm going to turn this over to George. Before I do that, I just want to let members of the media know last week was organ donation and tissue donation awareness week here in Nova Scotia, and there were a number of public forums and in-service training. At the public forum last Wednesday night at the Lord Nelson, the stories of people who have received organs and tissue, as well as members of families who were donor families, were very, very moving. But we have to do more to get the issue into the public awareness. Nova Scotians, about 400,000 have signed the health cards indicating that they are prepared to be donors. But yet in Canada, you know, several hundred people every year die waiting for an organ donation, and we can do better. We don't do as well as many other Western nations, and so we need to ask ourselves why that is. We need to ask ourselves what else we can do, and part of what we have to do is to be talking more in public about the great need for people to sign and to participate in this program. So I'll turn this over to George. George has done a ton of work in Ontario. In the province of Ontario in the last 5 years, there have been as many as 5 bills introduced by various parties, all of the parties, to improve public awareness and donation. And when I went to the website to do a little research on what's been happening in Ontario, I was really amazed. It was an issue in their election campaign. And so George has, to his credit, really worked hard to make that part of the public conversation in the province of Ontario. And I would very much like to see it become more of the conversation here in the province of Nova Scotia. So that's what we're all doing here today. And George, the floor is yours. Thank you.
First of all, I want to point out my many thanks to lay member Marie McDonald for her support, not only towards our campaigns in previous times, but her support towards organ and tissue donation overall. As Maureen mentioned, this is the 3rd time I'm coming to Nova Scotia, and SOS4000 is actually our 6th campaign, and we're celebrating 10 years of work with Step by Step. And this is in participation with many people across Canada. And I want to state that I've had a lot of opportunity to talk to many members of all 3 levels of government across the country in the previous 10 years. And Marie McDonald is a person that stands out as an avid supporter of organ and tissue donation throughout the entire country. And I can say this because I met pretty well everybody. And there's really just a few members in our government in Canada that are taking this issue seriously. And that we need the more participation from all 3 levels of government, and that includes the federal and municipal governments, in order to achieve the goal of saving everyone that's on that waiting list. And this goal is achievable. There's over 4,000 Canadians that are presently waiting for these precious gifts. And if we do everything that we can possibly do, we can achieve that goal. So that's the mission. That's the mission. And we, over the years, and I gotta call them battles, because it wasn't easy to get sometimes attention from different levels of government to understand how important this was. So we had a lot of battles in Ontario and other parts of Canada. And it was in trying to let each member know how important the issue was and different areas that could be used to help solve the problem. And one of the areas that I found here in Nova Scotia that came to my attention was that there's actually no live donor stranger program here in Nova Scotia. And there is in Ontario, and it took years to get it in Ontario. It wasn't an overnight procedure, and as well as BC. And we just had an experience previously at the hospital where we came from just before we got here. And I always tell the truth, so I don't hold anything back, and everybody knows me as that. I think our travels in Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and the rest of the Maritimes is probably going to show the same thing, is that nobody in the Maritimes is aware that there is no stranger live donor program. So what I mean by that, if somebody wanted, out of the kindness of their heart, to donate a liver or a kidney to a complete stranger, that program doesn't exist in the Maritimes. And we need to well, when I say we, you know, because I feel I'm part of the Maritimes too, because you know my Halifax connection. We need to really look at this and start talking about it and seeing what can be possibly done to address this, because that's what's been helping to increase the level of donations in Ontario. That's what's been helping to increase the level of donations in BC. It's one of the things. There's many other things that need to be done as well. So, my travels here in the Maritimes, this is what I'm discovering. And I'm discovering that the people of Maritimes, as I discovered in previous campaigns, are fantastic people. They're beautiful people. They're giving people, compassionate people. And yet, nobody really knows what's going on in this live donor program. So, if anything, I'd like to mark today's visit with that in mind, and this was all brought to my attention after my visit to Pictou County a few days ago, and after hearing the amazing story of Courtney Greencorn, and talking to Courtney and talking to the other Torch Champions, and visiting the school there and getting the reception that we got in Pictou County and the way the whole community came together. And I'm thinking, if one community can come together on an issue like this, then it's possible to get every community right across the Maritimes to do the same. All we need is awareness. We need more activity to achieve these things. And how it can't be more convenient than to come into the legislation building where we can make our voices known and heard. And that's one step in trying to make some positive changes. So it's going to give me great pleasure to introduce the guest speakers here. But before I do that, I just want to thank the Cambridge Squeeze for helping us out with accommodations while we're here. We're traveling with no budget. Somebody mentioned, aren't you fundraising? No, we're not. We're getting help from the kindness of hotels and restaurants like Jungle Gyms. They've been feeding us throughout the Maritimes. You know, that's how we're getting by. We have no funds. So we're getting fed, we're getting accommodations by various hotels, the Cambridge Suite here in Halifax. And I had a little surprise that I wanted to mention. April Wine is one of my favorite groups. And tonight, we've been invited to Monty's, who is going to host us. They're going to receive the torch there. And they don't see no problem with April Wine receiving the torch as well. So tonight, the torch is going to arrive at Monty's.
Here, here.
Yeah.
All right.
Lou was going to like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, this is part of the way that the issue gets highlighted, you know, when you get people, well-known people behind it and to support it as well. So, also, I think, is Louis Brill here? Oh, sorry, I didn't get a chance. I also want to recognize Mr. Louis Brill. He's the president and CEO of the Nova Scotian Lung Association. And what I wanted to do is start off with you if you wanted to say a few words. I know it's unexpected, you don't have to.
It's certainly, I suppose I'll share my...
Sure.
The Lung Association has really brought the issue of organ transplant to mind. Unexpected, so I'm thinking as you know.
No problem.
I can't help but think of recycling, reuse. In this day and age, we're all about that in the environment. But it seems like with organs, we don't. And right now we have 5 families in Toronto waiting for lung transplants. The cost, obvious health concerns they have, the strain and the waiting. You mentioned, George, the waiting. It's unbelievable. Some are 2 months, some are 12 months. Some the wait is simply too long, and we lose them. And it struck me because I really was aware of organ donation, but really I wasn't. And as a runner, and as a healthy person, I thought, you know, what a greater gift one can give. You work all your life to maintain your body, and then if you happen to lose it by chance, what more comforting could it be to a person if you knew you were going tomorrow, but the next day someone was to benefit? And how comforting that would be to your family if your demise happened and they knew that you were giving a gift of life to somebody else. What comfort that would give at a time of such sadness. So I for one, am signing up. I've spoken to my wife. I've let her know my wishes. She was a little bit not surprised that the topic would come up because I wanted to make it clear that this is what I want. And I'm going to be encouraging my friends, particularly in the running community, who have healthy bodies, to consider it. It's a very personal decision, but there's no greater gift I think that a person can give than if we were to share what we have with others when we no longer need it. It's like recycling. One man's garbage is another man's treasure, and I don't think there's not a greater case than that than the case of organ donation. So the Lung Association is going to take this cause up more so than ever. And on a personal note, we're certainly going to spread the news to our friends. Congratulate you on this mission and your colleagues, and trust that the Lung Association will be there to support you on your next visit.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So I'll introduce the next speaker. That's Carolyn Sexton, and she can warm the students up to if she speaks.
Maybe you can sit and speak to the door. We at Trenton Middle School last spring were invited to participate in the SOS4000 campaign. EA at our school, Stacy Monroe, found information out and asked if we'd be interested in supporting this worthy cause, and I told her I would help out with that. I am a grade 8 English teacher, and at that time I said, well, we should have students who believe in this if we were going to try and support it. So I invited my students to write essays about their beliefs and feelings about organ donation, and decided to choose grade 8s because they would be our senior students in grade 9. And consequently, 3 young ladies' essays certainly touched my heart because they had very strong and personal messages about organ donation. And at that time, we decided to choose 2 people who would speak publicly and write speeches. And we also at that time realized that we needed somebody to physically carry the torch, and somebody who would carry the torch and be capable of running a distance. And that's why Ashley Griffin, who wrote a beautiful essay, was chosen. And a few days ago, Ashley and I and a group of 7 other runners, we ran 3 kilometers approximately, 2 distances between the Museum of Industry, where we had a press conference, and our school, Trenton Middle School, where for the entire time Ashley proudly held that torch and ran the entire distance. So we're certainly very proud of Ashley. Also, Courtney Greenhorn wrote a beautiful speech, and I'm going to let her share that with you, as did Susie Billington. So we were very proud of Trenton Middle School to support this cause. We had an assembly. We made a banner with the slogan, "Don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows you need them here." And all students in the school were invited, if they believed in the cause. The teachers spoke. I had all the teachers speak to me about organ donation, to sign that banner, and we presented it to George in our gymnasium along with a small donation. We had a wonderful assembly where it was certainly very obvious that the Trenton Middle School supports George Marcello and his wonderful campaign. So I'd like to turn it over to perhaps first Susie Billington. She's going to read the speech that she wrote. And then I'm going to turn it over to Courtney Greenwood.
Good afternoon. I'm here to talk to you about SOS4000. This program is about donating your organs to be passed on to someone who's in need of them. Many people can benefit from organ donation. I know personally my grandfather did. He was blind, diabetic, and 42 years old when he passed on. His death was a result of his kidneys failing. But it just so happens there was no kidney transplant when he passed on. But what if there had been? He may have lived a longer life, and maybe I would have known better. And what if this was your grandfather or grandmother or even a loved one? Wouldn't you want someone who has passed on and no longer is in need of their organs to donate? I know I wouldn't. The fact is, every 3 days, someone of Canada's organ donation registration dies. Last year alone, 147 Canadians died waiting for an organ donation that never came. Currently in Canada, there are 4,004 people waiting for organ donations that may never come. How much longer can they wait? A week? A month? A day? Who knows? SOS 4000 focuses on making people aware of the change it could bring to our world. It is very hard for grieving families to think of anything except their loved one's departure. But if people plan ahead and fill out organ donation forms, parents would know their wishes and save them the trouble of deciding for them. If you took a moment to think about the family that needs the donation and the person who needs it, you can feel their pain. Because if you knew someone could have helped save your loved one, wouldn't you want them to at least try? Remember, don't bring your organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them here now.
A few years ago, I watched my mom as she filled out for my health card. She asked me if I wanted to be an organ donor. She explained the process to me. I didn't need to think. I immediately said yes. From that day, I became very interested about organ donation and jumped at the opportunity to be part of SOS 4000. I think that is the ultimate gift when you donate your organs, because you can live each day of your life knowing that you gave someone the chance to live longer. Or you could also be looking down from heaven knowing that you let someone have the chance to experience life more than ever. In my opinion, children aren't being educated enough on the importance of organ donations. I didn't realize how important it was until my mom explained it to me. There are lots of people probably thinking organ donation is not important, or they don't need my organs. I was that way before too, but it is so important for they need all organs that people are willing to give. Many people die each year because of not enough organ donations. To me, these are senseless deaths and preventable if people were educated about it. Not only can you donate your organs, but you can also donate blood and bone marrow. Donating these two things can also save many lives each year. Me, at the age of 14, I'd love to donate a live organ to save life. There would be no greater gift. I encourage everyone here today, if you have not already, to take the time out of your day and fill out an organ donor card. It only takes a few minutes and can change the lives of so many people, including yours. Now is the time to talk to your family about your wishes and encourage them to become organ donors today. So once again, don't take your organs to heaven, because heaven knows we need them here on earth.
And now for our final speaker, I want to introduce Kristopher Knowles, who will explain his story.
Good afternoon. My name is Kristopher Knowles. About 3 years ago, I walked across Canada, and I came here to Halifax to tell about my story. I carried the torch of life proudly, and I believe it helped save lives. I believe that because it helped save my life. I've been waiting for a liver transplant my whole life, and I'm still on hold for a liver transplant today. I was in Pictou County yesterday, and I got the honor to pass the torch to the 3 representatives, and now I am honored to say that it was a great thing that you guys have said, and that I hope that everything goes well, and you guys are amazing for what you've done and what you've said, so thank you.
Okay, I want to also mention that it was Susan Nelson and Nancy Nazarin, the owners of Monty's, that made it possible for tonight to bring the torch there. So, Nathan, ready to do a what? Sure. Okay. I think now what we can do is proceed to the front.
I think they might have some questions.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. If there's any scrums or interviews that...
We'll do one-on-one.
Okay, right now we can do that, okay. Consider that done.
Thank you.
Okay, can you email me after some of those pictures?
I will get my librarian to do that.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, Nathan?
Hey, girls, look this way. Oh, look at me
So,
for a second.
Nathan?
1, 2, 3. Wait, sorry.
Okay, now
Hey,
we're gonna start walking towards that way. So Nathan, if you can get on over there on that side over there, right over there. Okay, now if you girls can say from Pictou County, you know we're from Pictou County. And
Relaying the torch.
we're relaying the torch to Halifax student, to Nathan. Okay? Okay, look at Nathan.
From Pictou County.
On behalf of Pictou County, we relay the torch
To Halifax.
To Halifax.
to Halifax.
Do you want to do that over again? You want another shot on that?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like them to not be all...
just talk for a
Okay.
They
minute.
shouldn't be looking at these guys
Just
in their
talk for a
cameras.
minute.
Yep,
They
okay.
should be-
Talk
Okay.
for a minute. Talk to each other. Go back.
Okay.
Pat, take
Give
it
the
back and
torch
pass
back.
it over again. Pretend nobody's here, girls.
Yeah. Just do it like, hey,
Pretend nobody's here.
natural.
And Nathan, is it? You're going to have to get a lot closer.
And the whistle blew and the train jerked and it spilled this whole content of water all over. People start to laugh. My mother started to laugh. How strange. That was the first time I saw my mother laugh.
She was only 8 years old, one of more than 1,000 people from the Baltics who walked off the Solaria into Pier 21 that day in February 1949. A little girl in a sea of confusion who was the center of attention. But the sweet child from Latvia, with her big blonde braids and her hair ribbons, was very big news. She got a special welcome and a permanent place in the history of Pier 21.